Hello Summoners and welcome to another ProGuides video. Today we'll be discussing Riot's recent announcement of a Bilgewater themed Dungeons & Dragons campaign called Legends of Runeterra: Dark Tides of Bilgewater. Well, more accurately, we'll be discussing why it's being pulled down from the D&D Beyond website after August 10th. Before we get too far into it, today's question of the day is, what RPG alignment is your favorite champion? Let us know what you think in the comments or join the discussion in our very own ProGuides Discord. As an added bonus, we're also going to be doing a giveaway right now for anyone that subscribes to our YouTube channel and joins our Discord. 7 lucky winners will receive 1 year's worth of Pro subscriptions, and we'll also have 10 more winners who can each receive 2,000 PG points each, which is a pretty sweet deal. So without further delay, let's get cracking. For those of you who don't know, Dungeons & Dragons is a tabletop role-playing game that lets you and your friends jump into various fantasy worlds with characters you create for yourselves using the game's creation system. There are a ton of character races and classes to choose from for you to have as much creativity as possible when making your character. Edgy elf rogue? Of course. Human fighter? Sure, I guess. 3 halflings in a trench coat? If your DM allows it. Basically, one player, the Dungeon Master, or DM, acts as the narrator for a story that revolves around the choices and actions made by your character. And anything can happen, since it's entirely up to the DM's storytelling. Well, it usually is. A lot of DMs like to set campaigns in their own worlds that they've created from scratch, in stories they've made up by themselves or by loosely plagiarizing their favorite things. This is referred to as a homebrew campaign. The opposite side of that, however, is that Wizards of the Coast, the company that makes D&D merchandise, releases structured campaigns as well that the DM can just use for reference if they don't feel like whipping up an entire cosmos. These self-contained stories usually have a vivid description of the setting the campaign takes place in and provide a few key NPC characters for the DM to build around, as well as a loose plotline for the DM to start the characters down. Usually, these campaigns are original creations based in Wizards' standard source material or one of Wizards' other IPs like Magic the Gathering. But occasionally, they'll reach out to other creators and make a campaign setting out of their material. And that's what we've gotten from this collab between Wizards and Riot, a Bilgewater-themed adventure set in the rules of Dungeons & Dragons. So how does Bilgewater look in this campaign setting? Which version of events are we dealing with? In this setting of Bilgewater, by the way, now is a good time to mention all of the facets of this campaign are not deemed canon in the Runeterra universe. Anyway, in this setting of Bilgewater, MF still tried to kill GP, he still lived, and now he's trying to recruit power to take control of Bilgewater back. This faction is called the Jagged Hooks. Meanwhile, Misfortune split up the territory of Bilgewater between herself and 3 captains that helped her. But the captains betrayed her, so she put them down and is now the sole power running the city. Misfortune's faction in Bilgewater is called the Soldiers of Fortune. The third faction in Bilgewater is the Buru, the culture that worships Nagaka Burros, whom Illaoi is the priestess for. Outside of the port city itself, the Shadow Isles and Noxus are both powers that could potentially shape the events of Bilgewater. The Shadow Isles to the southeast have brought about havoc and death through the Harrowing, an event in which the black mists of the Shadow Isles flood the city of Bilgewater and let bloodthirsty spirits loose on the population. And the only thing stopping a similar event from happening again is the Buru people and their rituals. On the other hand, Noxus is looking to expand their empire, and while they haven't decided to attempt to invade Bilgewater and take it by force, they've sent emissaries to attempt to gain favor with the ruling powers and shape an alliance to benefit the Noxian navy. To make a living in Bilgewater, most people turn to at least one of 4 career opportunities. Bounty hunting offers a nice reward for those with a real go-getter attitude who have the talent and the gall to drag Bilgewater's most noteworthy criminals back to justice, or whichever highest bidder posted on the bounty board. It's Bilgewater, so justice is a little, you know? The second profession is monster hunting. Think of those fishing shows on TV, but then make it about hunting down Bilgewater's monstrosities that are as big as the ships hunting them. The third career path, salvage diving, is perfect for those who prefer to sell their finds instead of killing them. The sunken treasures and lost artifacts at the bottom of Bilgewater Bay will go for a pretty penny to the right buyer. And yes, don't worry, you can be a pirate too. It's really more of a lifestyle than a career path, but choosing the pirate life lets you live above the laws, searching far and wide for the ocean's riches, fearing nothing except for, well, bigger pirates. Now you've got your jobs to choose from, but with D&D, there's another key factor you'll need to take into consideration when fleshing out your character: their class. For the uninitiated, we're not talking about gel pens and notebooks here. Your character's class basically refers to their preferred fighting style and lays out what special abilities they'll bring to the table in combat. Dark Tides of Bilgewater introduces a unique spin on 3 classic D&D classics: the Barbarian, the Fighter, and the Rogue. These 3 special subclasses or specializations unlock at level 3 for their respective parent class, and might remind you of some friendly faces from everyone's favorite MOBA game. Barbarians will be allowed to choose the Path of the Depths subclass, a spec for those who know firsthand what overwhelming monsters lie below the depths. The skills you'll gain basically turn you into a budget Nautilus, immovable on the battlefield and overpowering foes. Also, you can grow a Ghost Hook, which is pretty badass. For fighters, there's the Renegade subclass. Renegades are sharpshooters with wits as sharp as their trigger fingers. When they're not sweet-talking their way into their enemy's favor, they're tricking out their arsenals to suit their preferred shooting style, which is either with a pistol or sniper. Lastly, we have the Wild card for rogues. They don't even try to hide it with this one, you're literally Twisted Fate. Wildcard style is similar to the Renegade, but with more talking and less shooting. A set of loaded dice will do you more good than a loaded gun. Combine that with a silver tongue and magical deck of cards, and you're all set. With your character locked and ready to go, you'll probably want to get a feel for how to get around. The city of Bilgewater is conveniently broken up into 4 districts: Rat Town, the Slaughter Docks, the Eyries, and White Wharf. Rat Town's name pretty much speaks for itself. It's one of the poorest areas in Bilgewater, and a haven for low-life scumbags and generally not-so-nice people of all walks of life. In other words, the perfect spot for bounty hunters to go searching for their next targets. Next, we have the Slaughter Docks, a combination of bays, markets, and butcheries that form the city's biggest trading hub. The main export? The biggest and ugliest sea monsters you can imagine. For those of you with more sophisticated tastes, you might spend most of your time at the Eyries, a center of culture and high society and home to some of Bilgewater's most cutthroat gambling clubs. Lastly, we have White Wharf, a city graveyard. For a district that literally gets its name from the amount of bird droppings coating the scenery, it's not a very funny part of town. If you can mind the smell, White Wharf will serve as an important point for information when journeying through the campaign. As you can see, Dark Tides of Bilgewater is a nice breath of fresh air for hardcore D&D players looking to try something new, and packed full of references for casuals coming to the game from League of Legends. If you're itching to try it out with friends though, you'll have to act faster than normal. For some unannounced reason, D&D Beyond will be pulling the adventure off their website after August 10th. There are a few theories as to why this might be, ranging from ideas about it being due to the rivalry between Legends of Runeterra, to thoughts that it's simply being pulled to be reworked into a full-scale D&D campaign rather than just being a light setting guide. Far more money to be made that way, of course, but nothing's confirmed, so enjoy it while you can. The true irony here is that it will just lead people to downloading the Dark Tides of Bilgewater in PDF form, and if you don't see the beauty in pirating a Bilgewater-based campaign, I don't know what to tell you. Not that you should, because that would be illegal, but letting it disappear without preserving its existence would be criminal as well, so... Anyway, thank you guys for watching. We hope that you enjoyed this video, and we especially hope that you have some fun with the Bilgewater campaign setting before it gets sunk to the depths of the 404. Hopefully we get to see more Runeterra-based D&D content in the future, since the world has such rich lore these days. Once again though, please remember to let us know what RPG alignment your favorite champion would have, either here in the comments section or in the ProGuides Discord, and we'll see you guys in the next video.